The universe is a glorious place. It reminds us at once of our insignificance on the great scale of this world, and of the absolute miracle of living and seeing it all here. It's also a spot where we like to put weird junk on giant rocket boosters and blast them into space. And you know, people are only going to be people. While astronauts have been coming up with jaw-dropping discoveries and scientists have been coming up with endless theories, there have been numerous times when those theories were not scientific, rather just discovering strange things in space. You are watching Technologic, and today we are going to dive into one of the most interesting topics ever. Stay tuned to find out all about it. Kicking us off at number 10 is a gorilla suit. Many species have been found in space, but a gorilla is not one of them. There is, however, a gorilla suit that astronaut Mark Kelly sent up to the International Space Station in 2016 as a birthday gift for his twin brother Scott Kelly, who was at the time on the ISS during his one-year mission. This was a rather shocking thing to spot in space, but we must admit, it was a rather fun one. During their time together on the space station, Scott Kelly and UK astronaut Tim Peake became good friends, and the former duly used his new outfit to prank the latter. Number 9. A block of cheese. SpaceX launched a wheel of Gruyere cheese into space back in 2010. Weirdly, until after the mission, CEO Elon Musk was super cryptic about the Falcon 9's mystery payload and exaggerated as it's kind of funny, and if you like Monty Python, you'll love the secret. However, it was later disclosed that this was a reference to a classic Monty Python skit in which John Cleese attempts to order cheese from a cheeseless cheese shop. Who says the astronauts and scientists can't have some fun? Number 8. Pictures from Playboy magazine. Well, this one is not from modern times, but here is a story that would be impossible to picture happening today. Astronauts took along 34 pages of itemized to-do lists strapped to their wrists as they flew to the moon on the 1969 Apollo 12 flight second crewed moon landing. The list contained simple instructions like deploy flag, but the individuals who prepared the list set them up with nude pictures of Cynthia Myers and Angela Dorian. From Playboy Playmate magazine. One of the astronauts later told a Playboy reporter that before they were actually walking on the moon, they did not recognize the images. Although after the extravehicular activities, we were excited to show the pictures to each other. Astronauts and pranksters at NASA kept this secret for almost 25 years to avoid criticism like this is where our tax money is going. But hey, it was a funny prank, right? Number 7. A fishy rock on Mars. Who doesn't like controversial discoveries, especially when it comes to alien and UFO fans that enjoy looking for unusual shapes seen in the rocks of Mars? Mars once had an ocean far larger than the Arctic Ocean here on Earth, but don't let that persuade you that the fish-shaped rock seen on Mars is just a legacy of the red planet's past aquatic existence. NASA posted a raw picture from the left navigation camera of the Curiosity rover back in 2016. You will see an object near the bottom center of the picture that looks a lot like something you might see floating around in a lake if you look closely. It isn't a fish, but it is a fun coincidence. At number 6, we have Luke Skywalker's lightsaber. Stunt launch props are not restricted to organizations that are private. As famous mechanics recorded at the time, NASA hauled the real Luke Skywalker lightsaber prop into space aboard the Space Shuttle Discovery in 2009. During the STS-120 flight, the real lightsaber prop used by Mark Hamill in Return of the Jedi was flown to the International Space Station aboard Space Shuttle Discovery. It also returned to Earth safely, but it was one of the best things to be launched into space. Halfway through at number 5, we have human remains. A number of human remains have already been sent into space. Yes, actually, there are literally companies devoted to the operation. But astronomer Clyde Tombaugh, who discovered Pluto and other outer solar systems in 1930, belongs to the farthest flung remains. However, before he died back in 1997, he demanded that his remains get sent to space. His submission, including a small capsule of his ashes in the New Horizons probe, which reached Pluto in 2015, was later honored by NASA. Well, as respectful as we are, this sure is a little creepy. Imagine your remains just floating in space. At number 4, we have New Coke and Pepsi cans. Coca-Cola and Pepsi took their ad battle into the cosmos back in 1985. On a Space Shuttle Challenger flight, specialized cans took the fizzy sugar beverages of both firms into low Earth orbit. As Oregon's The Bulletin reported at the time, to prevent tainting NASA with ads, astronauts were barred from displaying the cans on TV, but at least some of the cans were used. Well, who knew Coke would try to reach the sky-high limits of its career? Pun intended. Number 3. Fruitcake. Who doesn't like surprise treats, especially when you're stuck in space and can't run to a bakery to satisfy your urges? Well, Commander Chris Hadfield was floating around the ISS when he found something unusual in the supply room. "Hey Tom, look at this," called Hadfield. Finding Hadfield holding a fruitcake about the size of a trash can lid, Marshburn glided over. The two chuckled, grabbing a giant slice. "We have a place for bonus food, but we didn't ask for that. Who would ever ask for that?" Marshburn told Mashable. "We tried it and it was great. The flavor and texture was just fantastic. We ate that for about a week." Number 2 is Legos. In their spare time, several astronauts do Sudoku, but Japanese astronaut Satoshi Furukawa has opted for one of more meta practices. In 2012, the flight engineer took a package of Legos to space to create an ISS replica. When on the station in the orbit, the zero-gravity floating parts made the complicated model much harder to assemble. But Furukawa was still able to complete the ISS, 2 other Mars rovers, and Hubble Space Telescope space-related models. Number 1. Amelia Earhart's watch. This one is not the strangest but bravest thing in spaceflight history. Amelia Earhart was an aviator and adventurer, as well as the first female pilot to cross the Atlantic Ocean. In 2010, her watch traveled somewhere even more remote, the ISS. The timepiece was taken to the ISS in the care of NASA astronaut Shannon Walker. Walker was, incidentally, the 55th woman in space. 82 years after its historic first flight, the watch that aviator Amelia Earhart wore while making history on 2 transatlantic flights was carried on board the International Space Station. The timepiece was among a few mementos, including an honor badge, which flew to orbit with the 3 newest crew members of the Outpost. If you enjoyed the video, do not forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Also, hit the bell icon to stay updated with our latest videos. Adios!